Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, December 28th, 2023. Let's jump into the charts, start with the big picture, work our way into the day itself. We can see that, we pushed through this channel top on Wednesday and even closed above it, but we did not close above the 1% threshold, which is important. I think you can see that we have pushed through the channel top by a very modest degree inside the 1% zone, and that it wouldn't take much to fall back from here, close below the channel top, and it's a clear hold. So I can't really give this the blessing, if you will, of a buy signal, of a longer term buy signal that could yield 348.64 over the next 3 to 5 months. If we were to close tomorrow, Friday, the week itself, above the 261.05 structure by the full required 1% margin. This green line is 263.66, and if we close tomorrow at 263.66 or higher, then yes, I would expect 279.69 to 282.16, this area up here, upper right, within a couple of weeks. And over the next 3 to 5 months, 348.64 would be anticipated if we had those conditions. But until then, if you're short, I'd say hold on until you actually need to bail. And that would be, even today, there's your 263.66, your 1% violation of that 261.05 level on the weekly chart. If we close today at or above 263.66, that is, yes, just a daily settlement above it, but it could be the beginning of a meaningful move to 282.16 within a couple of weeks. You may exit a short position. Do you go long yet? You could scale into one, but quite honestly, in terms of the basic buy signal that could play out through Q1, I take you back to this chart once again. The conditions have yet to be met, and as long as that is the case, you can play the short side here still, anticipating possible bearish rotation over the next, what chart would I like to show you? I can show you really this one here, back to 233.77 over the next couple of weeks, 216.36 over the next 3 to 5 weeks. And potentially, as I say, this structure here, this channel top has a channel bottom, presently in the upper 170. So I'd call it 177 and a quarter, a 5/8 downside Fibonacci, in reach over the next 3 to 5 months, holding below, closing below on a weekly basis, that 261.05 channel top. So we are right there. We're just above it. We could continue higher today. I'll take you back to this chart, that if we push through 263.66, and it's not an inherent resistance level, FYI, but it is a marker for what I call a buy signal clarity. And so on an intraday basis, holding above 258.77, 261.05 on the weekly chart, holding above these structures, whether you call it on the daily chart above 258.77 or the weekly chart at 261.05, which we are just above right now. Take you back to this chart, just above right now. But if we open above 261.05 and push through 263.66, 268.94 in reach today, that is this little pullback high area from early October. And then, yes, if we close tomorrow, the week itself, at 263.66 or higher, 1% beyond 261.05, then I would expect within a couple of weeks this band of resistance, 279.69 to 282.16. 279.69 is a rising 2-month channel top that is respectable in its own right, but that 282.16 level is a former long-term channel bottom. So the two combined can readily contain weekly buying pressures, and if we were to get that settlement tomorrow above 261.05 by the 1% margin of 263.66 or higher, I expect this 279.69 level up to 282.16, both rising gradually, a 1 to 2 week target. We could top out here on a weekly basis, fall back into the 250s. We could, as I've been saying, and I'll take you back to, this chart here, We could test 282.16, fall back into the 250s, fill this widening wedge out for several weeks before then presumably continuing onward and upward to the 348.64 level. But that scenario is not a green light just yet. I do need to keep emphasizing this. If you went long yesterday above 258.77, there is no right or wrong to this. It's by a matter of degrees and personal trading styles. And we do have a buy signal on the daily chart. For those who don't like to incorporate the 1% violation thresholds, we have a buy signal on the daily chart above 258.77 and by a hair on the weekly chart. But because it's a weekly chart, by definition, it deserves a weekly settlement above it. And yes, that green line, the 1% violation threshold, is a much more reliable indicator for buy signals if it were to occur through Q1 with a settlement tomorrow. Last time I'm going to say it, at 263.66 or higher. Now let's take a look at the downside. This covers it pretty well. If we break or open today below 258.77, we could test 250.83 intraday, and that deserves session containment given its proximity, its distance away from present price levels. If we break or open below 258.77, 250.83 is likely where a daily low can be placed. And this is well suited for day traders, and I say day traders only because I do think that if we close below 258.77 today, I think we've got a good high for the week, and you should prepare for a 3 to 5 day sell-off to 241.45. Another session containment level, and over the next 1 to 2 weeks, 233.77. So you can anticipate 233.77 anyway by a hair because we've yet to close above that weekly 261.05 by the 1% margin. So if you're still short, I think you can still anticipate 233.77 over the next couple of weeks. 216.36 by the end of January, I think, is still in the realm of likelihood, unless we close once again tomorrow. I guess I'm going to say it one more time, above 261.05 by the 1% margin of 263.66. And then it's looking pretty good for Tesla. If you're long Tesla, if you own the stock itself, you want to see a settlement Friday at 263.66 or higher. Then we see the 282.16 level and climbing within a couple of weeks, and over the next 3 to 5 months, 348.64. I'll talk about the option plays a little bit more as we spill into the later part of the week and early next. But for that, I'm going to leave it at that for Thursday's Tesla Report. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow with Friday's Tesla, and you have a great day.